Well, today's episode is going to include Panini's release calendar. Is hoops really off the table? We're going to look at Ken Griffey Jr.'s 1989 Mother's Cookies and the 1985 Jewel stickers. And of course, we're going to touch a little bit on the PSA upcharge. That and much, much more on today's episode. You ready? Then let's do this. Okay, friends, so we're going to be starting off here. I've done a couple of things different that I'm kind of experimenting with. I've gone ahead and taken the liberty to create what I've called here segment banners. And it's just to help me organize things and help the flow a little bit better. But we're going to start off with word of the day. I forgot to do the word of the day last week, but I want to get to it this week because we have an important segment here, and that is the word oddball. Now, the I am, as you know, if you follow my channel, I am creating content about the pre-war rookie cards, and that's typically been my Wednesday night release. And I have many more episodes coming on that. I have a lot of guests lined up for that. We're having amazing discussions, very enlightening discussions about pre-war rookie cards. And I've gone ahead and created a glossary for pre-war lingo. I'm going to go ahead and publish that glossary on my website at some point this week. When I do, I will notify everybody in my community post on this channel. So be looking out for that. I think a very important part of understanding pre-war rookie cards, because that's the journey that I'm currently on. But I think it's crucially important for me is to understand what certain words mean. The nuances of understanding are found in the definition of words, and I could not find a resource that would help me with that. So I turned to ChatGPT to help me create a glossary for pre-war cards. Out for that, and we're going to look at the definition of oddball, which is a catch-all term used by collectors to describe cards or sets that fall outside of mainstream or commercially distributed products. Oddball issues often come from unusual sources, not traditional formats, or limited promotional runs. Now, you might be thinking, why are you using ChatGPT, man? I mean, ChatGPT isn't 100%. I would agree with that. But when you add ChatGPT and a little bit of understanding and a little bit of discernment, you can pick up on what it's right. You can pick up on what's right and what's wrong. And so I do have somewhat of an understanding on things, but it's more like a large language module. Okay, it helps you formulate thoughts and ideas into a more defined vocabulary, and that's kind of what I'm looking for here. And a lot of it is, ChatGPT. It says, "Oh, well, that stuff is wrong." No, ChatGPT collects the opinions of us. It scrapes the internet and gathers up all the information out there that we have inputted, whether it be right or wrong. We are the creators of it, and then it kind of like funnels through all of that and gives you an understanding of what the topic is. So, once you see, if this is something that interests you, I guarantee you that once you see this glossary and the definition of words, it's going to make a lot of sense to us. So be on the lookout for that. Next up, we are going to upcoming releases segment that I have dedicated for releases. Now, I don't get into the details of every single release. Who's got time for that? That would be a snooze fest, right? But I found this on the internet this week by Sports Stuff Hub, LCS. And he posted this Panini release calendar that is, to me, just absolutely absurd here. If you can see the number of products that this company has scheduled for release for the next 6 weeks, it's unreal. Lots of football product. We see like 12 different football products only in the next 6 weeks. They do have some WNBA products, 3 of those. I would be interested in those. Looking forward to Donruss, Impeccable, and Prism. A couple of new product lines there, I believe. And so looking forward to that. And you have soccer, racing, golf. Now, if you are in the know, you know that this release calendar is, it's like right. You can't really depend on this. These actual dates are going to be scattered all over the place. Me personally, I think they are going to be releasing products way past the licensing, because what they're doing is putting all these products in the queue. So legally, they can release this stuff way past the due date. So I believe we're going to be seeing basketball and football product released. Well, maybe not basketball, but we'll definitely see football product released after the April 1st deadline of the license. And they're just going to chalk it up as, hey, it's just a printing thing. It's been scheduled and the release is delayed for whatever reason. And that's just my opinion, but you can see some of the comments here. Again, the most entertaining part about social media and the hobby is in the comments section, my friends. You will see a wide variety of funny to good insights to all kinds sorts of craziness. Next up, I want to look at a segment that I've called a Rookie Mania. And we are looking at first, we're going to be looking at Cooper Flag's official NBA rookie card. This is what Topps released. So if this is Cooper Flag's official NBA rookie card, what were all the other ones? Were they unofficial? And so interesting choice of words there. But yes, here we have Cooper flagship rookie card that we can call out of Topps. And there seems to be a lot of complaining about the rookie card logo. Some people claim that it doesn't have a rim. Where's the rim? Some people, or a majority of the people, think that it is gosh awful ugly. If we can see some of the comments here. Red Zone Card Appreciator says, meh, maybe true, but this is the base. Huh, he doesn't like base cards. Imagine that. Hasn't it always looked like that in their basketball products? No, it has not. What's wrong? Basketball, backboard, and basketball. Is it because it's missing the rim? Looks like a Knicks logo. Sickening. I like a mini Nerf Hoop RC. I like it. Fanatics, they suck. I actually like it. Yikes. All kinds of very entertaining comments here. But I would love to know your thoughts on it. What's your thought on this logo? I can't say, I don't hate it, but I think it probably could have been better. I think it would have been really cool if they produced maybe a few samples and threw it out there to the public to kind of get, consumer sentiment on the rookie card logo, being that it is such an important piece of the equation. It would have really been nice if we would have had a say or a vote, or if they would have gotten some feedback from us, but maybe they did. I don't know. Next up, I want to take a look at a post on X by Chris Hoge. He says, Ajah Wilson has tied Cynthia Cooper for the most total MVPs in WNBA history with 6. This is quite interesting to me. I have a lot of the rookie cards of the early WNBA from the 1997 original season. Cynthia Cooper has always been the GOAT of the league for the amount of wins and MVPs, and Ajah Wilson just won her 6th MVP as well, tying Cynthia Cooper. So this is really, really interesting. I know there's been a lot of noise on Ajah Wilson's rookie cards here lately. A lot of her stuff was officially licensed by Rittenhouse. So I was going to showcase some, but maybe I'll do that on a separate video. I was going to showcase some of her cards, but I just think it's really interesting that somebody can get to that level and win 6 MVPs. I am a big advocate of MVPs. I think MVPs carries a lot of weight when it comes to Hall of Fame induction. I think it carries a lot of weight when we talk about GOAT status. And I think it's one of the most influential accolades that an athlete can have, to me. And as far as my level of wanting to collect that person, I have Cynthia Cooper's rookie card. I would love now to have Ajah Wilson's one of her rookie cards and have them side by side as a couple of GOATs in the game. So that I find that kind of stuff interesting. Just wanted to share my thoughts on the weight of MVP status for me is huge. And defensive player of the year for me carries a lot of weight too. Scoring carries a lot of weight for me too. That sort of thing. I don't get into weeds too much on a lot of the new way of measuring stats and that sort of thing, but it does interest me. Next up, we're looking at rookie buzz. What's all the buzz out there? Let's take a look. A couple of things that I found very, very interesting this week, and that is this post here. It first started with Eric from Those Back Pages, my man Eric on X. His account is The Walking Dead Saga, but he posted a post that says, with Panini out of the NBA NFL game and Topps having no interest in anything Panini, that means the end of hoops. which stretched back to 1989 for NBA coverage, and for NFL, that means the end of score football, which also continues since 1989. Sad for pedigree collectors. Totally agree with this sentiment, Eric, and I'm on board with you. You know that. But yeah, this thing is pretty interesting comment here by DJ Kazmierzak. I don't know if I chopped up his name there, but DJ works for Panini. I believe he's pretty high up the ladder with Panini. And listen to his response to Eric's post. He writes, "It does not have to be the end of hoops, as the NBA owns that IP. Topps has never shown interest in making a hoops product. You are correct about score. That stays with us." Wow, that is pretty insightful information. So if they wanted to continue the saga of NBA hoops, which is, in my opinion, the flagship product for basketball, and it's beloved with collectors. Legally, technically, Topps can make it. They can carry that product over. So I wonder if there's any other products out there that are owned by the NBA. And if that's the case, I wonder what's going to happen with those IPs. But I think hoops is the only one. I should have done some homework on that. So that's bad journalism on my end. But I didn't think of it till now. But let's take a look at another post here by Suze on X. She wrote, question 2 of the night. And if you know Suze, she does a lot of these questions on a weekly basis. But she writes, what is the definitive rookie card in hockey? And it's basically she's wanting for a specific product in your opinion. And I'm not real strong with hockey outside of the typical, Young Guns and the Cup. So this post really caught my curiosity because I wanted to learn a little bit about hockey products. So I gave it some attention. But here, obviously, it's, it seems like Young Guns takes quite a bit of the cake here. She was asking, but here Eric says the Cup, SP Authentic, and Young Guns. I don't know if he meant it in that order, but he probably did. But he seems to think that the most important products, the most definitive products in hockey is the Cup, which is an extremely high-end product. SP Authentic is kind of mid-grade to high-end level product. And of course, Young Guns in the Upper Deck flagship product. Those are the definitive. And I agree with that list. But a whole lot of other people, to me, the answer is clearly the Young Guns. Young Guns. This guy, pretty astute comment here. He says, the one that makes you happy. Okay, all right, I can respect that. Young Guns has the pedigree and are the most collectible as far as being attainable. The Cup and SP are out of the reach of most. Another very astute comment there by Biggs Daddy Cool. Low end, Upper Deck, Young Guns, high end, the Cup, RPA, and even though it comes out years later. That's a good comment. But yeah, friends, Young Guns seems to be the key rookie card for hockey players today. Next segment, we're going to be looking at Rookie Market Report, proudly sponsored by your friends and mine over at Card Ladder. I got a few here that I want to take a look at, and I'm going to start with October 11th. The first one I want to look at here is this amazing 2000 Fleer Showcase, Tom Brady, and a PSA 9. These are serial number to 1500. Shout out to my man Adam over at Splendid Sports, who recently came on the channel, and he showed us his entire set registry run of Tom Brady rookie cards. An amazing collection that he put together. But here we see a 2000 Fleer Showcase that recently sold for $26,000. What's ironic to me on this one is you come down here and, 13 years ago, you could have bought this PSA 9 for $145. Fast forward, and we're over $26,000. That's amazing. Pretty cool looking card. Again, I wanted to bring attention to this, is that, my friends, this is a base card. Okay. And, I'm a big defender, a big advocate of the base rookie card. Don't mess with the base rookie cards now, because these are where it's at to me. Base rookie cards are not junk. And a lot of times the problem with that statement is that we include the base rookie cards into that statement. And for those reasons, that's why I dislike that sentiment. But my point here on that also that I want to add is that these are these were fairly hard to pull back in the day. I mean, serial number to 1500. I believe they included rookies one in every 4 packs. You got one rookie card, and the checklist was like 50 rookies deep. So I mean, to pull this Tom Brady rookie card was pretty difficult, all things considered. And I wouldn't have a problem if manufacturers would go back to that kind of model, bringing some additional value, and maybe lowering the print runs, or um, regulating the amount of rookie cards that are actually made. If they were to practice this 1 in 4 pack model, or they can do a rookie card serial number to 500, one in every box type of thing, where the lower it goes in the serial number, the harder it can be to pull. And I think that model would work, and they don't have to print 2 million rookie cards of a certain player. How many Cooper flag rookies are going to be out there in the Topps product altogether? Thousands upon thousands. But I think practicing this type of model would really add more additional value to the rookie cards. I don't know, just living through that era in the early 2000s, it seemed to work. I could be wrong on that. The next one that I want to take a look at is on October 12th, and it's this one here, 2008 Bowman Chrome Draft, Prospects Gold Refractor of Buster Posey. This is number one. Let's just call it what it is. This is a beautiful card. This card is amazing. Couple of things here that I want to do. This is potentially a future Hall of Famer. Now I can see dropping some serious coin for a card like this. This makes sense to me. To waste this kind of money on a first Bowman Chrome auto of a prospect who has accomplished nothing makes zero sense to me. But dropping some coin on this type of player, on this type of card, does make sense to me. And the thing what I like about the first Bowman Chrome autos, it's really the best autograph you can get of any player. Now, if I'm an autograph collector, and many hobbyists are, I can see being drawn to the first Bowman Chrome because it has such clean autographs. Now, what I don't like is typically they look so young that they look like children on a lot of these cards. And even though they have the license from the league, they don't have the license from the Players Association because they haven't debuted into the league yet. So that makes these, they're not rookie cards for that reason. They're pre-rookie cards or prospect cards. And you can turn the card around and you can see that it will not have the license to the PA. These are kids in the minor leagues is where they're at. And so, although great cards, and don't get me wrong, I know sometimes I'm kind of hard with the first Bowman, and I've been known for that. But and I think as far as autographs are concerned, they're beautiful. But true rookie cards, they are not. But then a lot of people would say, "Oh, but it's the highest selling card." But listen, when we're talking about understanding the nuances of a true rookie card, values have nothing to do with it. Values and comps or pop reports have nothing to do with what a true rookie card is. And so keeping that in mind, I still love it. It's a beautiful, like I said, it's beautiful. This is a great card to drop some coin on. It's a beautiful card. But again, let's call it what it is and not what we want it to be. Let's stop twisting things to create a narrative that is false. Okay, next up, I want to look at the feed on October 14th. On this one, I want to look at this 1997 Ultra Tim Duncan. This is the platinum medallion. This is the big boy. This one's the hardest one to pull. It recently sold this week for $9,000. What I like about this one is that I recently completed the set registry for Tim Duncan. I needed the Topps Chrome, and I needed this card here, the 97 Ultra base card, which I just picked up in the last week or so. I'm waiting for it because of the eBay authentication and all that has got me a little concerned, and I still do not have it in my possession. But I did get an email yesterday that says that it's on its way. So excited about that. When this card does come in, I will be creating a video on the entire set registry run of Tim Duncan. Here, let's look at the base in the PSA 9. And it's currently selling at $420. This is the price that I paid. This is the one that I just recently bought. And when I make the video, I'll go into the details of the what I had to go through to get my hands on this card. But needless to say, it's a new high of 420, and that's my purchase. And so we'll see when this thing gets here. I'll be making a video on it, so stay tuned for that. I also want to look at a card that was on October 15th. I do want to look at this Patrick Mahomes 2017 Prism Patrick Mahomes, card number 269. This one is the Prism Camo. Really nice looking card with the camouflage background. That is a nice card. I believe it's serial numbered. It doesn't say. Oh, yes, serial number to 25. And that recently sold for $13.9. The last time it sold was back on April 2nd, 2018, and it sold for $100. So we went from 100 to $13.9. That's pretty amazing jump. But I bring this up because this is a unique card. I want to take a look at the Prism Silver, which actually in 2017 was the base. This was a very unique card. It was the first time Panini Prism did this, and they didn't have any silvers. The silvers were actually the base cards, I guess, if I want to explain that correctly. But I wouldn't mind purchasing this card. I know it seems like, let me take a look at it in a PSA 9, which is something that I would be interested in. What's it going for there? Yeah, see here? At its peak in, what was that? February of 2021, it was at $2,800. And here recently, it's at about $1,150. So, that's not terribly bad. That's affordable to me. I kind of like that price, to be honest with you. And I don't know, this year it seems like, man, it seems like they're losing it, and then they start doing some miraculous stuff, just some typical Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes magic going on. And we'll see what happens this season. They're probably going to be in the playoffs there at the end. Next up, I want to go to, this is the last one we're going to look at, and it's on October 17th. I hope you're enjoying these. I know I do. And even I know there's some high stuff, that we go and we look at this stuff that just sold for $6,600 for this beautiful 2009 Topps Gold Steph Curry. But you know what? I like to change it up. That's all right. That's what the gold sold for. What's the base selling for? And then we can pick our grade. I would like to pick one up in a PSA 9, which I think would be in my wheelhouse. And here we see, as of 2020, you could have picked this card up for less than $200 in 2020, when this was his 11th year in the league. You could pick it up. But base 9 nowadays is going to cost you about $1,800. And that's a pretty decent price. That's up. This would be a purchase that I would probably make at the National. That's where I really would spend this kind of coin for this kind of card, would be around the National time. But this is another card that I really, 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 really want to get in my collection. I wonder what a PSA 8. Let's look at, maybe if I run across a beautiful 8, right? That might be a viable option. An 8 is going for about $1,100 now, a little less than $1,200. And that, an 8 is definitely doable, and that's how I like to look at things. That's how I like to use this amazing tool that is Card Ladder. Okay, next up, we're going to go to the segment called Rookie Misconceptions, which is my favorite segment of all of this. And let's look at some things here. I just have a couple of them that I want to bring to your attention. And the first one is going to be a post by G over on X. He says, Griffey's best rookie card. Upper Deck? Never heard of it. And here we have the 1989 Mother's Cookies of Ken Griffey Jr. bat over left shoulder in a Gem Mint 10. What a beautiful card. And we get, some other folks here showing off their stuff and throwing up some gifts. This guy says the 1987 Belgium is the rookie card. This 1989 score, young superstars. Okay, I'm not going to argue the case at this point, but I do want to bring up some important features about this card that I think need addressing. The first thing that I want us to understand about this card in the Mother's Cookies is that this was an exclusive player set. This was a 4-card set, exclusively all of Ken Griffey Jr. Historically, traditionally, technically, exclusive sets do not qualify for a true rookie card designation. It doesn't work that way. Never has. The other strike against it is its method of distribution. These cards first showed up. It's documented in PSA Facts. It's that these cards were distributed first. They were first seen on August 20th, 1989 at a card show in the Seattle area, in the Kingdom, I believe is where the card show was. The cards that they had left over from that went into Mother's Cookies, and and it was in the Washington and Oregon region only. So it does not pass the distribution test because number one, it's an exclusive set. It has a regional minor distribution, meaning that it was very niche down to just a specific location. And once these things, once they put these things inside of the bags of cookies, which now make them a food issue or a promo issue. Again, those three factors: the exclusive set, the distribution method, and the food oddball issue. I guess you can promo issue that you can label it as. Those attributes do not qualify a card for a true rookie card designation. Now, is it a rookie year card? Yeah, we can call it a rookie year card. And within the system that I've created, I give this card because of the attributes. I give it a 1 out of 5 stars. There's just a level. Not to say that I would love to have the 4-card set. If you have them, let me know. I'd love to buy them, but I do want them in PSA 10. But I would love to own these cards and have them in my PC. And so that means it doesn't mean that it's not collectible. Doesn't mean that it's not valuable. Doesn't mean that it's not desired, because it certainly is all those things. But a true rookie card, it is not. All right, next one that I want us to look at very quickly here is a post on X. Man, I'm telling you, X is the place to be, friends. This was posted by our friends over at Fanatics Collect, and it says, crazy discovery. In 1985, someone bought this Michael Jordan sticker for just 25 cents from a vending machine. In 2020, it ended up selling for $20,000. Produced during his rookie season, the Prism Jewel sticker is one of MJ's rarest early issues, with only 205 recorded between PSA and Beckett. That's pretty low pop report for me. For some people would scoff at a pop report of 205, but fabulous card here. I remember seeing these at shows when I was much younger. But here's the thing with this card, and here's the problem that I have with a lot of MJ stuff in the 80s. Okay. And that is its distribution method. And some people say that distribution method don't matter anymore, that was a thing of a past, that was a thing. We have the internet now and that stuff don't matter, but it does matter, my friends. Distribution. And I said this recently on a video with Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Shout out to him. But distribution is part of the story of that card. It is part of the DNA of this Prism card. And there have been certain standards within the hobby for decades that there's a criteria for proper distribution. And these cards were available through coin-operated little vending machines. You know those coins at a store where you would put your coin in, and you would a coin-operated vending machine. That's the only way I know how to explain it. And it would be at jewel stores, and maybe a couple other stores, retail stores. But that was the only place you could get these. And I don't even think they were licensed. It doesn't appear that they were licensed. Some people cannot find it. Some say that there's like a C in the back of it, like a copyright, that on some of them that you can see a C signifying that it has a copyright, but no official legal document has ever surfaced of this card being licensed. It's just that oddball of a thing. I think these were homemade perhaps by the vending company, and they just threw them in there. But this thing, his rookie season, and they try to, it's his earliest release, one of his early releases. That's all fine, I guess. I'm not going to gripe too much on that, but there have been some that will claim this is a rookie-ish type of card, and it's not. It's a sticker. It was released by a coin-operated vending machine at a grocery store, and that's not the model of distribution for anything legitimate. Now, is it cool? Absolutely, guys. If you give me one, I would take it with open arms. But it's one of those things where the devil's in the details, and I like getting into the details, because when you get into details, it's when you find truth. When you find things, is it subjective truth, or objective truth. And it's one of those things that's where I draw the line. Next up, we're going to call this the Trendy Train. And here is a segment. I started this segment. I've never done a segment of Trendy Train. I created the concept, but I've never done a segment on it. So this is my first segment of Trendy Train. And we're going to look at a post here by Nestor, the Card Suggester. What an amazing name. But the uproar with PSA upcharges and Jeff Wilson and his friends really defending PSA's upcharge and really offending a lot of people. I don't need to go into the weeds, but they were basically saying that they understand why PSA has the upcharge, and if you don't like it, you can use somebody else, basically, and it's really made some remarks that offended the masses. And so that has been the hot topic of this week. If you are a hobby content creator on YouTube, you can't get away from the subject. I am not going to regurgitate what everyone else has already said, but I do want to bring mention of this one particular post that I found on X. And Nestor here says this. This is a great analogy. Got my house appraised. It's up $100,000. The weird part is the appraiser I paid $500 for the service came back and asked me for another $4,500. He said, I just made $100,000, so 5% to him should be no problem. Is this a normal business practice? You see what he did there? He brought in an example of his house going up in equity and the appraiser coming in and asking for more money because he just increased the value of his home. And it is this a normal business practice? No, it is not. I went ahead and about 3 weeks ago, I brought up the topic of PSA upcharges. And here's what I said on that video. Listen to this. But also, to me, the biggest miscue in customer service is the upcharge. I don't like the upcharge. The upcharge feels very scammy to me. And I know they advertise it as the insurance side of things, that if it gets lost in the mail, you're covered. If something goes wrong with authentication and we find out later that there's been a ring of cut cards or that sort of thing, that they will reimburse for that kind of thing. And they have kept their word on that on a lot of cases. But I don't like this upcharge things. I think there should be I think there should be an opt-out option. I think if you have like really high-end stuff and you're really worried about the shipping and all that, you can opt in for the insurance, right? But I think if you're sending a card in that has an estimated value of such and such dollar amount, and you're paying $500 or $1,000 to have that card graded, and it comes back better than you thought, and you're going to be upcharged again, it's like, to me, that it just doesn't feel right. And I remember Nat Turner, before he took over PSA, I remember hearing him stating his displeasure about upcharges as well. And I'm sure he sees things differently now, and that's understandable as the CEO. But this part of it, to me, it stinks to high heaven. Okay, friends, the next topic that I wanted to bring up for the Trendy Train is this. Look at this robbery here. The hobby is cooked, he says here. JB Card Collector posted this. This is what they call a smash and grab robbery. Folks come in, here they come, and they are just grabbing stuff and taking off. If this is something that's true, a lot of the people in the comments making this guy says dude was in on it, basically saying that the guy who was working was in on the whole thing. But it's like, come on, guys. And if that's the case, that's a shame. A lot of people feel like this was an inside job, but if it wasn't, and this is actually what's going on, this is not good for card shops. And I know certain card shops will have a security officer, but if this is actually now what folks that do these kind of things, if this is a new trend starting, man, I tell you, I really feel for card shop owners. This is not a good thing. Next up, I want to end with Community Spotlight, and this is perhaps one of my favorite segments in the hobby. I just like to showcase certain content creators. And listen, I don't want anybody to be offended by this. This is something I do because I have a lot of my heart goes out to content creators. I know a lot of guys, but it's I don't want to like offend anybody because I don't mention you. It's not that. It's whatever content creator moves me is the one that I want to spotlight. And I want to spotlight for this week. I want to spotlight this gentleman right here. His name is Adam Palmer. He's can be found, I believe it's Heroes for Sale. He can be found on his own personal. But here recently, he just got a job with Sports Card Nonsense Network, and he does their daily nonsense videos. They're typically about 10 minutes long. And Adam here, I got a lot of respect for Adam. I know Adam through our hobby hotline, but I don't know him like personally. We never like really, besides our hobby hotline dinners, it's the only time I've really spoken to Adam. But I want you guys to know something about this guy. This guy is one of the hardest working people I've known in the sports card content community. I have seen him put in hours upon hours of work. I've seen him grow. I've seen him find his voice. I've seen him find his confidence in content creation. I've seen him evolve to get better. And a lot of people have picked on him for that. A lot of people have picked on him for his voice. His voice does not bother me. I think I like the insights that he gives. He's very good at what he does. And I've seen him get better and better as the years roll along. He has been one of the pillars in establishing Hobby Hotline. He's been a big help with Hobby News Daily when that was going on. He was a big part of the web design. He's really good. That's what he does for a living. He was doing the Hobby News Daily podcast where he was doing every single day. He was doing an episode on giving us a Hobby Daily Minute, I believe it was called. And that hard work has paid off now with Sports Card Nonsense Network. And I just love these videos that he's putting out on a daily basis. They're typically, about 10 minutes long. He keeps it short and sweet, kind of just hits you with the facts and the fastballs. And it really does a great job at what he does. So community spotlight to Adam Palmer from Sports Cards Nonsense. My brother, keep up the good work. I really appreciate you. And speaking of spotlight, I am just dumbfounded by what Shohei Ohtani has recently done in the National League Division Series. My friends, I had been on the fence whether it's, my thing has always been, and these guys are really overhyping Shohei. I mean, he's been in the league, 7 years? And guys, I've seen it before, and my thoughts before this game was, I think back to like 2007 when Albert Pujols was just breaking records like crazy, just terrorizing, putting up things and doing things that we have never seen before. And it was like, this man is on another level. He's on a stratosphere that is undeniable. This guy is the best baseball player we have ever seen. And then look at his career once he hit like year number 11, 12, 13, so on. We look at Mike Trout, at the level that Mike Trout has been. MVP after MVP after MVP, just breaking all kind of records, doing amazing things on the diamond. And what happened the second half of his career after he hit year 11, year 12, year 13. And it's just like we put so much stock in Ohtani. But I can tell you honestly that this week, after this game where he hit 3 home runs and 10 strikeouts, he really made me scratch my head and say, doggone, this kid is something else. So Shohei Ohtani to the moon, I guess, and really impressed me with his performance and considering him as at least the GOAT of today. Anyways, we're seeing something very, very special. We are seeing history in the making, my friends. And I'm looking forward to what's next. I hope Topps now releases a card of that game. It's a card that I wouldn't mind owning. Those are the types of things that I really like Topps now in their product. And I hope they make I just want a simple base card of that moment commemorating that day, that game. I don't need a one-of-one autograph, for whatever. But that's going to conclude today's episode. Listen, the video on the left is going to be an episode that I had with Orlando from A Collector's Dream. And the video on the right is going to be Let me put the video of Patrick Mahomes. The ultimate rookie card guide of Patrick Mahomes is going to be on your right-hand side. With all that said, thanks for tuning in on this week's episode of Weekly Rookie Card Report. And remember, my friends, that not all rookie cards are created equal.